Hey, this is Maginoni, here's some comic reviews. I got a lot of books, so I'll go through some of these kind of quick. First up, I'll give Witchfinder some love, since we normally don't do a lot of independents. With Witchfinder, it's basically, I'll be honest with you, I was really into jumping into this book, but this looks like it's following down the path of zombies, and while I like zombies, I'm kind of burned out. Hoping for something different. But the gist is there's a person who's robbing graves. He gets caught, and he basically says there's something wrong with his body. They basically pull it out, and sure enough, it's a zombie. And while that's going on, there's a secret tunnel that's discovered in a subway system that's being built. So overall, there's two possible storylines that are going, and I am leaving some stuff out, just so this way I don't explain everything. But the art is decent, and I think potentially this could develop into something much, much better. But I'm still going to get number 2, but just for right now, I'm a little bit burned out with the zombies. Okay, Miss Marvel number 10. Even though this is a Civil War tie-in, this actually really does a much better job than most other tie-ins, because this is dealing with how, Miss Marvel is actually dealing with the Ulysses and his predictions, and things aren't going well for her. We do get a little bit of background origin, not background origin, but 9 years ago, we get to see her life, how she meets friends, that kind of stuff. And then we go with her questioning her belief on who's right and who's wrong. Overall, great story. The art was good. And again, I'm oversimplifying things, but overall, so far, Miss Marvel has been a decent tie-in, just because it's showing more about what's going on, more on an average person point of view, versus, for an example, hey, the Hulk is going to rampage, so let's get all the superheroes together. These are more smaller crimes, and that her and her patrol group are pulling in. And they're basically testing, they're in a pilot program, and if it works, then Miss Marvel, or Captain Marvel, wants to put it throughout all over the place. Nova, number 10. Okay, this is basically dealing with Nova going off into space to find the source of the power of the helmet. So this is a good jumping on point if you've been thinking about reading Nova. I think overall the Nova storylines, while not every issue has been fantastic, I will say it's been a solid read. I've seen other books, with new superheroes just crash and burn, but as a whole, I've been at least entertained. They've kept things interesting. My only complaint is he keeps going space, Earth, and now he's going back into space again. I just wish that there's a little bit more consistency. But, I understand technically he can't go to space for too long because he's got school. So there's a lot of complexity with the character and what they can and can't do, which, technically is a good thing, but I just wish there was a little bit more, basically, build his rogues gallery, stay on Earth for a while, build that up, maybe go to space and build that up. I don't know. But I'm hoping we'll get to see a little bit of that along the way. Uncanny Avengers 13. Okay. This here it's a two-parter. The first part is we get Deadpool trying to break Hawkeye out of prison. And the second part is Captain America going to talk to Ulysses, because Ulysses has a vision of Cable waging war. And Captain America has a few words with Cable, who assures Cap that he's not doing anything of the sort. He's just here on vacation type thing. And, had this vacation planned a long time. Well, he's up to something, and the fact that Captain America and Ulysses showed up just kind of Ulysses saying that he's up to something shows that he's on the right path. He's got himself a very unique team that's going to investigate the mutant plague from the Terrigen Mist. This is actually a cool cover. The issue was pretty decent. And overall, I would say I was pretty pleased with it. Afterlife with Archie. This was by far my favorite book of the week. it's basically telling you the the secret origin of Josie and the Pussycats. Now, as you can see, there's something supernatural at work here. And I won't spoil what's supernatural, but I will say this was a really, really good story. I I really liked it. The art was great. The writing was fantastic. The secret origin was good. They put some twists and turns along the way, and they're adding more supernatural to the world of the afterlife. And I'm on board, extremely pleased with this series. And anybody who likes The Walking Dead and those horror books, they should be buying this because this is great. It doesn't come out very often, so it's not like a dent on your pocketbook. So just buy it. Don't need to know what happens before it, other than it says at the very end they're about to land in Riverdale and they're like, hey, we think there's a riot going on. So that's all you need to know. And we already know that there's zombies in Riverdale. All right. Amazing Spider-Man number 17. Well, like I mentioned, 2 people die. There's a new supervillain born. And it's basically Parker sends the Prowler to find out more about that new that company with the special medical procedure to cure his father-in-law. And overall, I will say that this was a fairly decent read. Couple surprises along the way. The art was pretty. I really enjoyed the art, and I thought, as a whole, while I'm not extremely thrilled about seeing the Jackal again, I am at least on board temporarily, because the Jackal is just messing with people. I mean, no matter how good this procedure is, anybody who basically comes back from the dead, they're slave to the Jackal. So overall, I really want to see where this is going to go, because potentially this could lead to ultimate tragedy where everybody who came back is going to die again. All right, we have Guardians of the Galaxy number 11. As you can see, it's a Civil War tie-in. Basically, all of this is the Guardians of the Galaxy. They just finished their mission. They don't know what to do yet. They get a message from Captain Marvel. Hey, could you come down to Earth? They need some help. So they go, and it's just basically them setting that storyline up and how and why the Guardians are basically on Earth joining the Civil War. But, I mean, it's an okay storyline. You get to see some extracurricular activities between Kitty Pryde and Starhawk. Overall, it's decent. Art's decent. I don't know, it's... Part of the thing is, like, I like the old Guardians of the Galaxy where they're just fighting Thanos and stuff. But they're basically planting the seed where Gamora is going to go nuts. So I'm hoping that happens soon. And Spider-Man number 7. This was actually a really, really good issue. Basically, Miles is having this dream where the Hulk just rampages and just kills everybody, and he basically sees his death. And he's kind of unnerved by that naturally. And he goes out late one night, and then he meets Boom Boom. Or Bombshell, I think. One of those two names. And then they actually have a really good talk about the Civil War. Because, Miles is like, look, Tony asked me to join his side. And she's like, look, they're just using you. And that part was all I really liked that. The Jessica Jones with Miles' mother was a good part of the story because Miles' mom knows there's something going on. And overall, I will say this was a pretty solid read. I really enjoyed it. I liked how they're bringing some of other Miles, some of his other characters into the Marvel U without making a big deal out of it. And so who knows who else is going to come through. Overall, I really liked it. The art, like I said, fantastic. This is actually a really good cover too. And still, this Spider-Man is still the superior version of the Spider-Man comics so far, which is surprising. But definitely better. Anyways, that is some reviews for you. Let me know what you guys picked up, what you guys uh, are liking the most, what you guys thought was pretty bad. I mean, overall, for the most part, the books are pretty. They range from pretty much average to good. Nothing terribly bad or anything like that, which is surprising because there's usually a horrible book. But anyways, if you have any comments or questions, let me know. Like, share. We'll have some more reviews later. And until next